What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor Lawler. Welcome back to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my best pal, Mr. Shaun Mead. Shaun, how's it going?
Doing pretty good, best pal. How are you doing?
Oh no.
Look, as one best pal to another. Thanks for having me along.
Do you ever see that, like, Ralph Wiggum? Or not Ralph, it's Nelson, and he's walking. It's not Ralph dancing around him, is it?
No, it's Martin. It's Martin dancing around.
Martin Prince, yeah, Martin dancing around. It's basically that. That is our relationship.
Which am I? Who am I in this?
I think you might be Nelson? No, you're Martin.
Oh.
You can't dance like that. I've seen your kneecap. So, Shaun, this is Movie Mondays, and we are back. We missed last week as we had a full Ant-Man review.
Hell yeah, we did. I loved it.
I mean, it was a bad movie, but Shaun liked it, which is pretty good.
I thought it was fun.
That ending was so full of consequences, I thought. But Shaun, if he knows I got him.
I did a little shrug gesture for those of you listening.
You went, no, fucking, hold up, let him cook. But we are back with another week of movie news. If you could give this a like and subscribe, whatever podcast platform that you're listening to this on. I don't think subscribes work still.
No.
What is it? It's like,
rate us 5 stars, put us in your top 9.
Yeah, whatever way that works. Even though I kept saying Quantum Zone last week instead of Quantum Realm, please give us a like anyway, because the Quantum Zone is where Superman sends Zod.
That's the negative zone, is it?
That's the negative zone. I mixed the two of them up.
Come on.
I added Zone and Quantum and I just put them together like, yeah, that'll be close enough.
I mean, look, technically you're not wrong. Technically it is all made up as well. But everyone knew what you meant.
All things are made up.
I got you, best
Shaun, and that is it for this week's Movie Monday. Just cancel the show.
Just pull the plug.
So, Shaun, we're starting off this week because we took the week out. There's a bit more news this week, and we're starting with one of my favourite things, is the fact of the announcement that The Lord of the Rings is getting some new movies, Shaun. They are in the works at Warner Brothers. And not only that, but your best pal, this is your favourite man, David Zaslav, the Warner Brothers Discovery CEO.
Ah, yes, yes, master of PR, David Zaslav.
Who consistently kicks himself in the face, has said that he's planning to turn Lord of the Rings into a Star Wars style franchise.
Zaz, what are you doing to me? What are you doing? What? Okay, here's my thing, right? I love
you. Love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
that's so weird. I know you do.
So I love the books. I love the movies, the original Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings trilogy. Now, since those 3 things have come out, those 3 movies, what is the best Lord of the Rings thing that's happened? Like,
the first Hobbit movie?
First Hobbit was grand. And then it rapidly declined in everything up until the Rings of Power came out, which is this weird Lord of the Rings adjacent thing that isn't actually canon because Amazon didn't get all the rights or some shit like that. Also, there was a wig shortage, so all of the elves have the shortest modernist haircuts there's ever been. And you now want to take the gamble on modern Warner Brothers making more Lord of the Rings series?
Well, this all comes back to the fact that Warner Brothers Discovery is following, basically encircling its wagons ever tighter about familiar IP as it focuses on brands such as DC and hopes to turn the Lord of the Rings.
That is
so basically, right, it's actually very similar to what Disney are doing with Pixar at the minute, with Toy Story 5 and Frozen. Those sequels, is basically these studios are deciding that no more new media can exist or be created. And they're just going to rely on the things that worked previously. And which Warner Brothers especially, because they've had so many cuts over the last year and a half, and so many fuck-ups in the past 10 years that suddenly they're kind of reaping what they've sown over the last decade.
And now they're backpedaling, and they're like, no, we're going to double down on the DC and the Lord of the Rings now, and Harry Potter. Let's just make that again.
Yeah, that's why they're doing another Harry Potter movie. So now the announcement of Lord of the Rings is getting another few movies. Peter Jackson has also hinted that he will be involved in this.
Now, that could just be an executive producer thing.
Yeah, so the way he wrote it was that him and his writing team have been kept in the loop regarding the new movies, which could literally mean he's an executive producer that gets to sign off on some things.
So what are we thinking here? Is it a sequel, prequel, sidequel that's going on?
So you can't go prequel because that's The Hobbit.
It is The Hobbit, really, isn't it? Unless you do real prequel, and it's I don't know, the fucking wizards arriving,
a prequel to the prequel.
Yeah, a prequel to Rings of Power, even, and that kind of thing.
No, I'd say we just burn Rings of Power.
Do you know, actually, what would get me interested is if they said Peter Jackson has full creative control and he's making the Silmarillion into a movie, which is basically the Wikipedia for Lord of the Rings.
Right.
That's the only way that I'll be halfway on board with this.
For the full Wikipedia.
The full everything.
Everything.
From birth. Give me a fucking March of the Penguins style nature documentary about how Middle Earth was made.
And you keep thinking, you're just is that Legolas behind all those penguins? No.
No, couldn't be. Absolutely couldn't be.
It's the way before his time, lads.
No, because the thing about it, at the end of Lord of the Rings, the Age of Men begins, and magic is basically gone from the world. And Tolkien...
that'll be more fun. No magic, just regular, just Ents, innocent men.
Orcs, wizards, get rid of them. Don't like that. Give me men standing around.
I just want two small lads punching the head off each other.
But the Tolkien originally had written, he was drafting an after Lord of the Rings kind of story, but he never published it. He never finished it. It's just when he died, his son, I think it was Christopher Tolkien, just published it. It's here's what he was working on, and it's just this really grim story about people being miserable because there's no magic left. Once the Age of Men starts, it's more finite at that point, because they're just men. They're normal. They're just innocent men.
They're just innocent men. They're normal men.
How is that more entertaining to watch? And also, it's not going to be made with the same production values as those first three movies.
Would you actually, very cleverly, what this article has done is it's left out the second bit of that Peter Jackson quote. So the first bit was, they've kept us in the loop. So the story is that the rights holders Embracer Group, they were brokering a deal for Tolkien's works, and Warner Brothers are now obviously looking to push ahead with their piece of the franchise. But then Jackson came out and said that Warner Bros. And Embracer have kept us in the loop every step of the way, and I just found the second line of that quote, which he then says, we look forward to speaking with them further to hear their vision for the franchise moving forward. So that lad's not involved at all.
Not at all, but he just had to put out a comment. Maybe they'll get Weta in to do some stuff, maybe that's the way that there'll be some Peter Jackson involvement. But
well, don't worry though, because there is a second season of The Rings of Power coming.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I guess they have more money than every god that's ever been, but Jesus. Does anyone want that?
I'm pretty good, Sean. It looks pretty good.
Have you watched The Rings of Power?
No.
It's not good.
All I heard was all those people complaining that there was non-white elves, and I was just lads, it's a fucking elf. It's grand.
Yeah, that's by no means the worst thing about it.
That's the least worst thing about it.
That's kind of cool and interesting. But there's these characters that are clearly coded as fucking leprechauns, and they have the worst Irish accent you've ever goddamn heard. Worse than Emily Blunt. Worse than Christopher Walken. in
No way.
Wild Mountain Thyme. Yeah.
In our favourite movie, Wild Mountain Thyme. If you have not seen Wild Mountain Thyme, just watch the trailer for Wild Mountain Thyme right now. If this is your first time hearing about it. Not Guardians of the Galaxy, Lord of the Rings, Sean, getting 3 new movies. I can only assume they'll do it in 3. They won't just do 1 because money.
There's this weird tradition now where every Lord of the Rings has to be a 3-part series. Or 4? Was The Hobbit split into 4 in the end?
Was it part 1 and part 2?
I thought there was a part 1 and part 2, wasn't there?
What? Desolation of Smog. Was that part 1 and part 2?
It's Unexpected Journey, then Desolation of Smog, then 5... Battle of the Five Armies. No, it was 1, but I could have sworn that was split into 2.
It felt like it was going to be split into 2 because they somehow split 1 book into 3 movies, and I was like, just go for a part 1, part 2. Fuck it. You might as well go in.
It's real bad. It's really not good. Did not like it.
I mean, and those original ones are so good.
They're outstanding. They're some of the best things ever put to film.
But I have an interesting thought. Mm-hmm. Do you think the creation of Game of Thrones in the meantime, and then the getting rid of Game of Thrones with all the dragons, has made the Lord of the Rings world maybe a little less fantastical than it was in 2001 when the first one came out?
Maybe, yeah, because there's no longer the element of we've never seen anything like this.
We've never seen anything this good. More so. Now, obviously, the last season of Game of Thrones, we all know what happened. But up until that point, everyone's like, this is one of the best things ever made. Yeah,
and it still holds up as well, which is massive, you know? But I think with Game of Thrones and with even all the Marvel stuff and stuff like that, I feel like studios think people expect a certain level of big thing and big showcase of visual effects, you know, where that's not what made those first 3 films good. It was just that it felt like a real world that you were in. And
what about Aragorn breaking through the 2 doors in the rain?
Oh my God! There's never been a more attractive man. Let's be honest. Oh, it's so good, Conor.
He's just there to help, Sean. He's just there to save everyone.
Of course he's there, and he just fell off a cliff, you know. But he comes back. He's all wet, and his horse saved. Oh, it was beautiful.
By the way, I guarantee it, they are not going to do something interesting with this. They are going to do a movie on Gandalf and then a movie on Aragorn. 100% Wolverine origin style. That's what they'll do.
You can't beat Viggo Mortensen though for Aragorn.
They will. They'll recast at a Han Solo kind of style. They'll then do a younger Aragorn and then do a younger Gandalf, and they'll just do 2 origin movies, and it'll be like, this will make a load of money.
Do you cast Michael Fassbender as a younger Gandalf?
Yes, you fucking do.
100% you do. And then he still fights on a train at the end. It's the only thing I'll accept.
For some reason he's on a train and he's stopping bullets.
I was thinking back, I think in 2019 or 2020 or whenever we did our awards for that year, I think Magneto Train Fight won the best movie that year.
We've got no respect for our own rewards.
Look, it's great. It's the best X-Men thing that's ever been done.
If anyone's never seen and I don't know what the movie's called, Sean, it's just called Magneto Train Fight Scene.
Yeah, I think it's Dark Phoenix. Yeah, it's Dark Phoenix.
That's the Dark Phoenix one. Yeah. So X-Men The Dark Phoenix. It's a real bad movie.
Terrible.
But there's one scene. It's one of those really great scenes in a really shit movie, and me and Sean latched onto it as the best thing we've ever seen.
It's just Magneto's so cool, man.
He's stopping bullets. He's shooting people. Just like, yes.
A guy punches him through some metal, so he just twists the metal and breaks his arm.
He snaps his arm. He snaps his fucking arm.
It's so Magneto. It's excellent.
It's like Magneto actually on screen, but like comic book Magneto, who's just the best.
But in the worst movie that they made.
Oh, it doesn't make any sense. That movie doesn't deserve that scene. But yeah, we don't also need Lord of the Rings, but we're getting them because they're now the new Star Wars, and that's what's happening.
They're familiar IP, aren't they?
Familiar IP is a fantastic phrase, and franchise and universe building.
Built-in audience.
Oh, I hate all of it. Sean, another thing moving on that really, this kind of made me laugh, is that Jason Momoa, he's been in the news recently just because of his casting. Obviously, he's in Aquaman 2 coming out this year. But recently, with James Gunn taking over DC, it was then known that he's heavily rumoured to be Lobo in the new DC universe.
In that he said he's wanted to be Lobo. James Gunn has said, no, he'd be a really good Lobo. And then he's in talk.
And then Momoa said, we've had chats and I can't announce anything now, I'm waiting.
But look, Aquaman will come out, and I'll always be Aquaman, but let's see what else there is.
But I have a new rumour that if this is true, this is fucking hilarious. And it's not a rumour that's going to end anyone's career. It's just Jason Momoa's Lobo casting reportedly was due to Aquaman 2's poor test reactions.
I did hear this, that it's apparently a very not good movie.
So apparently the movie was so bad for the test screenings that James Gunn watched it, and then Momoa and him must have already previously chatted about how much he wanted to be Lobo. And then James Gunn is like, well, I don't want to do this Aquaman anymore. I think you'd be a great Lobo because also you're Jason Momoa and you're fucking great. Yeah,
you are a great actor. You can sell a movie, but let's put you in a good movie. That's a shit movie, lad. That's terrible.
So the news is that Aquaman sequel's lackluster screenings added basically a lot of weight to the fact that Momoa was pushing for Lobo, which, if that is true, that is fucking hilarious.
It's so good. Also, like, the fact that the news is coming out that the test screening was negative. Usually those things are heavily weighted towards, it got a standing ovation. Everyone loved it. Those are the news stories that come out of test screenings.
Remember Batman vs Superman got a standing ovation,
like for 10 minutes or something like that.
It was all the Warner Brothers executives, which is just a disgusting phrase as it is, but they're all like up and clapping, and they're like, "This is the best thing I've ever seen." Batman should shoot more people.
It was like that. You can never trust those. But the fact that I trust this one most of all because it's bad. And we all know it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I think it's because it's such an afterthought right now, because we didn't even know if it was even coming out. Because obviously with James Gunn coming in, is there any point in Momoa keeping up this?
Do you think that when Aquaman 2 comes out, do you think it breaks even in terms of what it costs to make? Or will people give a shit?
I think it breaks even. I definitely think it breaks even.
But if they're rebooting it like within the next 6 months after it comes out, are they going to market it at all?
But I think it's Momoa and it's Aquaman, and it's a well-known IP, Sean. It's a previously known IP, but you have Momoa, and I think he sells movies. And I think the movies, if the movie cost, I don't know, like $200 million to make, which would be a very expensive movie, I think it'll make back $200 million. It might get to like $300 million, but I just said they're not going to promote it that heavily.
That is fair. I did forget, the first Aquaman did make $1.1 billion.
Yes. So even if it makes half that, it still has broken even.
Still doing pretty okay, yeah.
Yeah. But they're not going to. They're not moving forward with it. It's just going to come out, and it's going to have a very heavy vibe of Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah, where it's just like, oh, okay, this is happening, and it's never being.
Or like you'll see like, oh, did that come out last week? Oh, did it? All right.
Yeah. Oh, I meant to see that. I'll watch it on streaming.
I'll watch it when it comes out on Netflix.
Wonder Woman 84 was also in the phase that it was like, it was in cinemas and then a week later it was on streaming. Wasn't that the thing?
Yeah, that
So
was when the HBO Max fucked everyone over.
Yeah, so it got done in that regard. Like, definitely.
Well, I say HBO Max, but Warner Brothers fucked everyone over.
Specifically, Warner Brothers. Terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible.
Once again, kicking themselves in the face. Like, they had Christopher Nolan, like, locked in with, like, a lifetime contract, and he told them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, because he was like, no, you can't do this without consulting people who make movies. Not who run a business, who make movies.
There's a guy that all of his movies, they make money, and Warner Brothers are obsessed with making money.
Yeah. Here's, like, whatever you think about him, he's never had less than a 6 out of 10, I would say, as a movie.
No, like, and like, yeah, some of his movies are amazing, and some of them are pretty good.
Yeah,
but
some of them are Tenet, that's fine.
Some of them are Tenet, but some of them, like, even Interstellar. I mean, I think Interstellar, like, it's something, it's an event, you go to the cinema, you see it, it's big, and, like, it's massive.
This is actually a thing that people are talking about now, is that, like, audiences after COVID are going in more so for, like, what's called prestige films, where it's like it's an event to go to this film, like The Whale or Everything Everywhere All at Once or Banshees of Inisherin. Like, that kind of stuff is people are gravitating to and talking about and being positive about more than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania or Shazam: Fury of the Gods kind of a thing.
That's actually a pretty big discussion in terms of, I mean, we can just break this down, why not?
Yeah,
but, like, that is actually quite interesting in terms of how the mindset has flipped, because I think, especially with superhero genre stuff at the minute, but, like, people, what they wanted was a franchise, like, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, because all movies were just one and done. Then they got and everyone was like, this whole universe, oh my god, it's like a series, all makes it. But now we have so many streaming services with so many shows and so many series to keep up with, and the movies are all connected as well, and all the shows on all the streaming services are connected. I think people have now gone back the other way. They're just like, no, just do a movie. Just one.
It's like this balance of investment versus commitment and the difference between those two. Like, if I saw, you know, the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie as an example of a movie I really, really like, if that was the only one that existed, I would be chomping at the fucking bit for more of them, right?
Yeah.
So then when the second one comes out and it teases a third one, I'm like, great, I can't wait for more. But if it just started going indefinitely, which it was threatening to do for a little while there.
It fucking did.
If it was the Marvel thing, I mean, and it was like, okay, but we have a plan until 2028, but you don't know what that is. You just have to fucking be along for this whole thing. I'm going to get exhausted with that.
Well, like, I have a theory that people say, like, the superhero fatigue. I don't think it's superhero fatigue. I think it's franchise fatigue.
Yeah.
I think it's universe building fatigue. But it's because people associate that with superhero movies that people are saying superhero fatigue. I think, for example, the Batman didn't have superhero fatigue. It was a one and done. That was it. Nobody went, oh, I'm so fatigued from superhero movies, I'm not going to go see the Batman. But
yeah, because it was interesting and new, and you knew going into it, no, this is its own thing. I don't need
There's no commitment.
Else.
It's just one thing for 2 hours, and let's just watch it. Whereas I think fatigue in all aspects at the minute is that it comes from all of these movies, no matter what it is, they have to create a universe. Because every single studio exec is like, we got to create a universe. We got to have things lined up. We got to set up more sequels, more. And that used to be so cool. Like, I remember, like, 2014, that is the cool, like, as a fan, you felt, like, involved. You were like, I'm in this world with everyone, and, like, we all are in on the thing. And people outside of it won't get it, because we know what's coming down the line. And now you're just like, Jesus Christ, I don't like knowing what's coming down the line.
I wish I could be surprised or, like, interested again. And, like,
it's so weird.
It also comes down to a time thing as well, I think, because pre-COVID, it was like, before, like the streaming service thing was just properly, like, gathering steam. But it was still like, no, movies, like, you go to the like, you want to watch a Marvel movie, you go to the cinema. And so it's like this separation of, like, okay, it's over there and you can go to it and you can see it. Whereas now it's like, here's 14 Disney Plus series that if you want to stay caught up, you got to watch them, and they're in your own house, so you have no excuse. So feel bad if you don't watch them. And it's like all of that offline stuff has now just been moved to where it's in front of your face all the time, and that gets fucking exhausting. As a fan, I can't even imagine what it's like if you don't like the MCU.
You'd be sick of it. Just like, I think the best movie I've seen this year is Everything Everywhere All at Once, and there's not one promise of any sequel in that movie. You just go and you just watch something stupid, and it's a fucking event, and it's like, this is amazing, watching this.
Yeah, same with like Banshees and things like that. It's like, no, this is like, just...
I'd even give Dune it. Like, Dune is an event movie. And it does have a part 2, but I think it was slightly different because it was like, it's an event, and you didn't actually know there was a part 2 until you went into the cinema and it came up part 1.
Still
in the
one of the
title.
Ballsiest moves I've seen, like, in an opening title.
You're going to love this.
You did it.
Just hang in there.
Yeah, I guarantee you'll want part 2.
So we're going to have to move on because we've just had a general discussion there. But it comes on to Deadpool 3 and the fact that Hugh Jackman has revealed, Sean, in that there will be several Wolverine variants in Deadpool 3. Which kind of goes back to our theory of all of the worlds crashing together at this point.
Incursions.
And all the incursions happening, and that he will be playing multiple versions of himself in all the different worlds.
Yeah, which would, you know... now, I think that could just be... that doesn't mean that the plot of the film is that there's multiple different Wolverines. It could just be that for one scene there's a bit where a bunch of them meet together, but that's a selling point now, is that it's a multiverse and there's a whole bunch of Wolverines. It's weird. Or you could do it that's the plot, where Deadpool like keeps hopping between universes trying to find the perfect Wolverine. And he has to come to terms with the fact that it's not Hugh Jackman. And that's how they introduce the MCU's Wolverine.
And it's Michael Fassbender.
And it's Michael fucking Fassbender. No, it's Daniel Radcliffe.
Of course. No, I could also see them. They're definitely, if they do variants, I'm not going to say the first trailer. Third trailer, you've got the X-Men Wolverine outfit. Hugh Jackman's wearing it.
Yeah, that's happening. That's guaranteed happening. I think
locked in.
First trailer, teaser trailer. I think whatever, like, it's the way they're going to do it is that it'll be, you'll see maybe Deadpool getting stabbed with 3 claws, and then with like a right hand, and then he'll get stabbed with 3 claws with the left hand. And then he will get stabbed again by 3 claws with another right hand. And that's how they'll introduce that they'll tease that there's multiple Wolverines.
Yeah. I just feel like this is now, it's kind of, I was going to say it's all coming together, but it's loosely there. It's kind of around.
But here's the thing, and this kind of goes back to our previous conversation, is that, do you remember when No Way Home was coming out? And every crumb of news got reported on 1 billion times by various sources. That's what we're in for with Deadpool 3, I think. It's just like any bit of news or because they're 2 men who are very good at social media, or their teams are very good at social media.
And Ryan Reynolds has that advertising. He's got it down. Deadpool 1 showed that, Deadpool 2 as well. Very, very good at.
Yeah, so I think we're going to get teased a lot of stuff on this, and while it's cool, it maybe it would be nicer if we didn't know to expect that going in. Wouldn't it be cool to see multiple Wolverines show up out of the blue? No way. Thor Ragnarok would have been a better film if Hulk wasn't in the marketing.
Oh yeah, get rid of the gag of that's my friend from work. I like the gag, keep it in the movie, but just have Thor in the stadium, and then you just hear the crash. You don't even have to show anything.
Yeah, and that's it. And it would and fair enough, once it gets to, like, the film's out a week and you do TV spots, then put him in it. But from a viewer point of view, wouldn't it be cool to be surprised by the Hulk in that movie? Wouldn't that be huge?
Well, Sean, I have something that might surprise you, but also absolutely make you sick. Because, Sean, Star Wars, it's one of all of our favourite things, and I have a rumour that I think you're going to really like. It's from Sean O'Rourke, who has over 20 years of experience working with Warner Brothers and Disney and Netflix. Right. He basically came out recently and said that he has heard a rumour, not to sound like I heard a rumour, but
Umbrella Academy, I love it.
Umbrella Academy, but Star Wars projects are going to be deepfaking Luke, Han and Leia into works into the future.
I hate this so much. This is the worst. AI is a sin. Get rid of it.
Why don't we just keep doing them three?
Why don't you make new character? You had a whole expanded universe full of their descendants who were basically exactly like them. They were the same tropes. And then you fucking got rid of it.
You had Oscar Isaac.
You had Oscar Isaac. Good. You had Oscar Isaac ready to go. Like, okay, people didn't like the sequel trilogy just because it wasn't Luke, Han and Leia in it. They didn't like them because most of the movies and TV shows and content were bad. So, make something good and interesting and cool. Star Wars is a really cool universe. Like, just tell
those
other
characters,
stories.
All those characters in the new trilogy are all really cool. Like, in terms of Poe and Rey and Finn. Those three are really interesting characters that they completely fucked. Right?
Rey could have been a Kenobi, and then that's like an infinitely better story. If you want to like do the old character nostalgia,
and the whole storyline of Finn being like a stormtrooper who defected and is like that's so cool. Like, that is such an interesting idea that you could have had hours of content with. Yeah. But they basically just shot all three of them and they were like, yeah, but we got deep fakes of the original three.
Like, that's... I won't... No, I would not watch that on principle, genuinely. Like, there are a few things I would do that with, but I don't need to be fucking marketed to like I'm a child. And it's but you like this, don't you?
What's come into that is Harrison Ford, obviously, with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
He's been de-aged in that. And then, I mean, not spoilers for The Mandalorian, but obviously Mark Hamill was in The Mandalorian. And I think they've seen the success of that. And they're like, well, I mean, Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford still around. Like, we could totally use them.
True. But also, you could just cast Sebastian Stan as Luke Skywalker. And he looks the same. Like, if you want to do more Luke Skywalker
you can cast
stuff.
Sebastian Stan and then just even slightly touch him up by CGI to, like, you just change him slightly and he looked the exact same as Mark Hamill.
Honestly, yeah. Like, and that's fine to do. I just think it's really weird and uncomfortable how like, not how easy, but how willing studios are to just do the bare minimum and to just coast off of what already exists.
Because it's like, well, what worked? Well, we don't really want to test out anything else. Let's just do what we know works again.
Yeah. And it's like, there's so much other shit you could do than what are they going to do? You know, because like we know the end points of all of those characters, so that you need to tell a story that happened in between the bits of the films and TV shows that we've already seen, but that is never referenced in any of the other media. Like, it's never brought up again, other than, oh, here's where Han Solo got his gun from. Woody Harrelson just threw it at him.
No, and obviously this is just a rumour, but the fact that it's even being uttered, that they're thinking of it, fills me with dread. A lot of dread. Like, because once again, we talk about this every time with Star Wars, but just do, like, I don't know, we've talked about before so many times, Darth Revan. Why don't you just do him and just call it a day?
Darth Revan, literally do a series like the rise of the Sith, or like, you know, or the fall of the Sith even. Here's what you fucking do, is that you do a series or a movie, I don't give a shit, and it's called The Rule of Two. And it starts with Darth Bane reforming the Sith Order. And then it just covers, over maybe a couple of episodes or a movie each time, different Sith Lords and what they get up to. Do a Revan movie. Do a Darth Nihilus couple of episodes. And because the Sith are objectively far more interesting than the Jedi.
Also, if you wanted to copy a video game, you would just copy that video game that has the twin brothers, and you just have like one of them goes evil and one of them goes to the light side, and then they're fighting each other. Why not?
The dream.
That's fucking cool.
Like that kind of... All of this stuff is out there, and you own the license. You can do what you want.
Yeah. Okay, so Sean...
I got madder about that than I should have, as someone who has stopped caring about Star Wars, but...
Yeah, I know, but it's because we like it. That's why when all these rumours come out, you're just kind of like, oh man.
Yeah.
Come on. And then, but then like next week you could be like, there was no foundation to that. But I mean, they also... I would always say with the rumours like this, there's not a lot of smoke without fire as well. So most of the time we ever have like a rumour on this show, like a few weeks later it's like, oh yeah, they're doing that. Yeah.
Or it's generally pretty credible, like.
Yeah. So moving on, Sean, I have a headline that I just think, it's just perfect in what it is, because later on this month, there's a little movie coming out called Shazam 2, Sean.
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it. Well, they do a little bit of a tracking on Deadline recently reported for the opening weekend and what they would be expecting. So you see a lot of these stories of like Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is expected the biggest Marvel turnout in months and years.
Yeah.
And every single time, and then like you see it with Endgame and they're like, it's the biggest opening ever.
Yeah.
Because all the tickets are already pre-booked and like ready to go. Well, Shazam 2's opening weekend is tracking to be far lower than Morbius's opening weekend.
Oh wow. And they weren't optimistic about Morbius.
No. Release it again, we swear.
We were all moving that day, or helping people move that day. Do it again and we'll show up, I promise.
According to the forecast, Shazam Fury of the Gods is not expected to perform well at all. So it's looking to take, for the opening weekend, originally it was down to take, I think, $50 million.
Okay.
And then they've gone back. So last week they thought it was going to make 50. Now there's an update on the story, and Deadline has now reported that they are now looking at least maybe $30 million opening weekend.
For a major like DCEU movie. Like, do you think it'll make that in the opening
$30
weekend?
million?
Do you think it'll hit it? I'm not seeing it.
I don't know. I just love the idea of it not making as much as Morbius. I think that's fucking great.
Playing second fiddle to Jared.
Like there's no movie as a superhero movie you should make that in the same headline as Morbius did better in this category
and the
than
thing is,
this movie.
You don't even want to like put more money behind it in marketing. Because it's just going to be a loss on investment, really, isn't it?
No, it's dead. It's completely dead, and it's been dead for months and months. So I don't even know how you save it. You just kind of have to be like, okay, this is happening. Now, James Gunn and Peter Safran have still not made their decision on Shazam's future, and Zachary Levi has even come out and said, well, he said a fucking lot of things, to be honest. He said that they will make the decision on Shazam's future based on the success of this sequel.
So what they're saying there?
Oh no!
Zachary Levi is out.
I mean, the tick-tock of the clock is coming down.
But like, again, I think it should. regardless of whether it does well or not, I think you get rid of it, because I think it'll be a cleaner break and it will lead to less confusion going forward about what the DCU is.
Yeah, the less people you have from the previous regime, the less confusion you've got, I think. Like, I think you got to do that clean break. It's like a breakup. Like, you can't just be like, well, we can be friends with benefits. Just gotta break up. Like, it's just
pull the plug. Like
if you're together for like 8 years and then you decide, well, we'll only see each other every Tuesday and Thursday. That doesn't work like that, brother.
No, it's easier. It's better. It's healthier for everyone in the long run.
Much healthier
to just stop.
Leave it.
Just clean break.
I hope Morbius makes more. I think that would be very funny.
I think that would be excellent.
But I don't think Jared deserves anything as well, just as a man. So
there's a catch-22 there, isn't it? It's like I
don't want Jared to have any. I don't want Jared to have any happiness or success.
No,
in any
but
way.
Also Zachary Levi recently outed as a prick. So
I think he's done a lot of his own damage to this.
That's true. That is true. He hasn't helped things.
So like, people just kind of thought he was charming, and like up until 2 months ago, you probably would have made 50 million. And it's just like, you're like, maybe not.
Why do you have to go on so many rants?
Sean, we're moving on to our next piece of news, and this is something I'm really excited about, genuinely.
Okay,
Sean, because Cocaine Bear has come out.
Okay? It has.
It's one of the biggest movies of probably the decade, and the reaction to it has been immense. I can't think of any other word, right? But what it also has done is that it has now inspired other people to maybe start putting forward movies ideas for other studios for what they what they can do in regards to this brand new genre that has only been created by Cocaine Bear,
which is just animals under the influence, basically.
Exactly. So what the Asylum is teasing a Cocaine Bear inspired film about an alligator fueled by meth, known as Attack of the Meth Gator.
I will give that $10 million, quite frankly.
50 million.
The Morbius opening weekend. I will give it that amount of money.
So somebody tweeted, the Asylum tweeted this image, and then somebody underneath it was like, is this real? Like, this can't be real. And then they responded with, this is real. We're pumping the meth into Florida's freshwater reserves as we speak. So Sean, I think that this is obviously just a bit of a gag, but also, wouldn't it be amazing if the next, because we got like Sharknado for like ages, and now the new thing is we get animals that are dangerous and stick them on drugs. I mean,
it's weirdly fun to watch, right? Like, Cocaine Bear is kind of an anomaly because it actually happened. Like, a bear in 1985 ate a bunch of cocaine for about 30 minutes. It was the apex predator on the planet. That's funny to write a movie around. But I don't think it has the realism if you just be like, oh, and the octopus did shrooms. Like, what happens then?
But actually, it kills people.
Probably watch an octopus doing shrooms. He's got 8 knives.
You fucking would. Have you ever seen that movie of the guy who falls in love with the octopus?
Yes, I did see this. It's pretty twisted.
Imagine he feeds them. Imagine it's that movie, but he feeds them like shrooms. And then the octopus goes on a killing spree.
They did give the CIA gave a dolphin LSD one time.
There you go. Now that's a story. And then we attach a gun to him and then we call it a day.
Yeah. I think that's the way to go. Like, they built this house and they flooded it and they put a dolphin in it.
See, you don't really want anyone like, oh, actually, we need a carnivore that we can give a bunch of weed to. Because when he gets the munchies, it's game over for us.
A cheetah. Give it a cheetah.
A cheetah who's high as a fucking kite.
Yeah.
Gets the munchies. Game over.
Give him a load of Doritos. He'll be grand.
No, he covers us in cheese puff or cheese powder. And then he sees us as the next thing up.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what's the best drug to animal combination. Cocaine Bear, it's just
See, Cocaine Bear works so smoothly. So obviously we don't endorse taking drugs, but if we're going to put a killer animal on them...
Connor did a big wink there, by the way. He did a big wink when you said that.
I'm on a load of drugs now, Seán. I've sold a bunch of kids last week.
No, now you're confessing, Connor. Now that's an issue.
Oh, sorry, I took them. Wait, no. Which one's more illegal?
What about like ecstasy giraffe? How would that work?
Ecstasy giraffe. That is amazing. He's so excited about everything.
Yeah, imagine him just sprinting around the place, just dancing.
Yeah. Meth is a good one. Pure methamphetamine.
Yeah.
Like that'd fucking focus you right up. So have you seen that How to Fix a Drug Scandal on Netflix?
No.
Oh, it's not. This is not a funny story, but I would recommend watching it. It's actually quite. It's really, really good. But it's basically a woman who works in like an evidence lab in America, and she works with like all the police. Like if they take a bag of white powder, they send it off to this lab to get it tested or whatever. And she was for 14 years. She was addicted to meth, right? And she was doing all of the drugs, like taking a bit for her, then testing the other bit and leaving them back in the evidence bag. But then she said how she got started on it was they had like all of the pure liquids in like a cabinet at the side. So like the things you test against. And in one of the jars was pure meth. And there was one day she was tired and she did one drop of pure meth.
And just got everything done for the rest of the day.
And just got everything done. And then just started doing like multiple drops a day.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So meth. We need to give somebody meth.
There was a study done with spiders, and they gave them a load of different drugs and watched the way that they built their webs change.
Yes, I think I seen that. Was it like so? One of them was on ecstasy, and it was just a fucking mad,
just all over the
web.
place. Like caffeine as well. It's like it's a very like they'll like usually a web is like fairly dense and like packed in and everything. Caffeine, there's just massive gaps everywhere. Like,
and we're taking all that. Well, we're taking the caffeine. Hopefully, not anything else.
If they found if they discovered caffeine in the morning, there's no fucking way it would be legal.
No. They'd be like, you're not allowed this. Fuck off.
You don't deserve it.
So, Seán, I think this is a new trend we need to keep an eye on. Ecstasy giraffe, I think, is my main go-to. I really like that.
I think that has legs.
I like LSD lion.
LSD lion's pretty good.
But like... how do you beat what animal could we give drugs to defeat a cocaine bear is actually a better question. PCP baboon, perhaps?
Have to be a troop of baboons that we give it to.
Yeah, we have to give someone steroids.
What animal could beat a bear? And
there's a question.
Soup up that animal. Is this weird news all of a sudden?
Is this okay? So, but which turf is on? Because water... I mean, like, shark has it. If we're pairing it up,
I think it has to be a bear versus another, let's say, land-dwelling creature.
A gorilla?
Gorilla's a pretty good shout. They're quite similar bulk, though.
Yeah. Hippopotamuses are fucking... Lads, they'll go through you.
Yeah, actually.
But they're herbivores, but they just bite people for the fucking crack.
Have you ever seen one eat a watermelon? It's fucking terrifying.
So I'd like to see actually a hippopotamus on maybe meth, maybe something that turns it into a carnivore.
Yeah. Like what would make a vegetarian eat meat? That kind of a drug we have to give to the hippo.
Drink with a kebab.
Oh yeah, just a fucking... A hippo that's tore versus a cocaine bear.
A load of Jack Daniels in the hippo. Just out of it, lad.
A load of Four Loko. Get the caffeine and the drink.
And he has to beat the bear before he falls asleep.
Yeah, he's on the clock. Like, he's lethal for a little while.
Like, the fight has to end in the next 10 minutes. Otherwise, I'm going snooze, lad. That's the only way.
I'd like to change the rules so that the bear knows it's had too much cocaine and is going to die. So it's leaving it all on the mat, like.
So they're on a mat. They're on like a little gym blue mat.
Yeah. We've structured it in such a way that they enter the ring, run at each other, and then it starts.
I think studios, you're missing out. I think there's massive possibilities here. This is a brand new franchise that I would actually watch. And if you release a Disney Plus series attached to it, I would also watch that, I promise.
Yeah, 100%. Just release it again, 100%. It'll be fine.
I swear.
There was a show that pitted animals against each other.
Yeah, but I don't like it when it's real. I just want...
Well, yeah, but it was like weird CGI stuff about like, which should do it. There was also one once, and this is the last thing I'll say on it, but there was one where it was like militia versus militia, like army versus army kind of thing. And I think they had the Taliban versus the IRA was one of them that they like put up. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, but I think the IRA won, and the conceit is that the lads from the Taliban hid in a bus that the IRA had set a bomb under.
What the fuck?
This was the thing. They had a reconstruction and everything.
Who signed off on that?
The fucking Discovery Channel. Deadliest Warrior,
lads, that is genuinely outrageous.
It's
the
horrendous.
The fact that was on a show. That is ridiculous. That got signed off on.
The IRA leader runs to safe. Yeah, Taliban member runs in through the open door of a bus. The bomb begins beeping, explodes, kills the last Taliban member. The IRA leader raises his fist and yells, "ERA," in victory.
Okay. I feel like it's put us in a difficult position because, like, we won, but at what cost, Sean?
That's the thing. We don't support either the IRA or the Taliban. I just want to make that clear.
That's a different. But he did shout "ERA" at the end, which is difficult for us to go against.
It's true. And also, just for what it's worth, here's the loadout of the fucking weapons they had.
Loadout.
Taliban had an RPG, an AK-47, a bayonet, and a PMN mine. IRA had an AR-15, a flamethrower, a slingshot, and a nail bomb.
A fucking flamethrower?
Yeah. For clearing out weeds in the garden.
There's no Irish lad that can control a flamethrower. I'll tell you right now, we'd be dead in seconds. Secondly, RPG defeats any weapon that we could pull out.
That is true. Like, it's a real "I'll kill you, I'll kill me, I don't care" kind of move.
Yeah. They just pull out the RPG, game over. Sean, we're going to have to move on to our, I think, last bit of news. I'm going to give you a choice.
Okay.
We can either talk about a future villain that will be appearing in Avengers, which in Avengers Kang Dynasty, which is a rumour, or we can talk about your favourite Marvel character who is reportedly going to be appearing in the MCU.
My favourite Marvel character, please. Is it who I think it is?
Stephen Yeun's MCU role is reportedly Marvel's The Sentry. And he will be appearing...
10 million exploding suns.
He will be appearing in the Thunderbolts movie in Phase 5. So reportedly, Marvel Studio has found its Sentry, with multiple sources saying that Stephen Yeun will play the unstable Superman-like character in the Phase 5 film. Sean, if people don't know who the Sentry is, please, you can have the floor with a mini Hero Zero report.
Okay, yeah, I'm really proud of that Hero Zero episode if people want to go listen to it. But yeah, Sentry is a superhero who was introduced in a way that everyone had forgotten him, and suddenly they all remembered him because he was found in the real world. They found old drawings of him. But the Sentry is basically Superman. Like, he has the power of 10 million exploding suns, can fly, basically indestructible, undefeatable. But for as good and as strong, as powerful as the Sentry is, there is an entity called the Void, which is basically the negative Sentry, who is as bad as he is good. But still with all the strength and power and everything like that. The only way to defeat the Void is for the Sentry to not exist, because they're one and the same. The whole thing is like an allegory for schizophrenia with Robert Reynolds. That's the guy who is the Sentry. And so they have to make everyone forget him. I want them to do it in the MCU, that the Sentry was around the whole time. But everyone forgot him. Generally, there is a more recent... that's like my favourite retelling. That's from Marvel Knights in 2000. But there is a more recent one where Robert Reynolds was a heroin addict looking for a fix and broke into a military base and drank the formula that made him the Sentry, basically.
And by the way, the Sentry, I mean, very good. Sean, there's no downside to this. So the Sentry's like a Superman character, like as strong as a million suns, like is in terms of the Marvel universe. I mean, they really could have used them, unless there's some sort of negative to bringing the Sentry around. Imagine
if having the Sentry could be a negative thing that went on, Conor.
I can't think of one, unless is there some sort of villain? Who's his arch nemesis or something?
Is it the Void? The Void is his arch nemesis. He comes back when he's alive.
And like, that's him, but also not him, but is him.
Yeah. So you have to have one with the other, of course.
It's the two sides, so you get like the best hero ever, but then you also have the worst villain that's ever lived. Yeah,
and in many, like, this is the best way of like everyone's like, oh, why, if mutants are around, why haven't we heard from him and all this kind of thing. But like the Sentry is the one character you can really get away with that, because it's like, no, if people just forget him, then he can't. He can't be remembered.
So Yeun was cast in the Thunderbolts movie a few weeks ago. So like in mid-February. At the time, his role remained undisclosed, so that everyone didn't know, but we did know that it was significant. So apparently now it has been confirmed that he will be playing the Sentry in the MCU. So, and this is the Thunderbolts movie. So this is the one that has Florence Pugh and David Harbour and the Winter Soldier. Who else is part of this?
Taskmaster is in it.
Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, basically everyone who was in the Black Widow movie, and then also Ghost. Abomination isn't in it, even though he fucking should be. Do you think then that the operation that the Thunderbolts undergo is to recover the Sentry and get him on side?
I think that it makes the most sense. So the Sentry is just appearing and they don't know how to stop him, so they send this team of Thunderbolts to go try and figure out what the fuck is going on, and then they realise that the Sentry is both him and the Void simultaneously, and then you're just like in a fucked up position, because what do we do?
Yeah, one of my favourite things about the Sentry as well that I hope they incorporate into it, also just on Stephen Yeun, great actor. He's perfect to play the Sentry, in my opinion. Sentry has severe agoraphobia as well, so he doesn't like to be outside. So he usually just confines himself to like his apartment and doesn't get involved in things. So you have a character reason why he doesn't intervene in every, conflict that comes up. And
also, he doesn't remember that he's the Sentry. So something has to have happened for him to know that he's the Sentry, because the only time he ever knows he's the Sentry is when also the Void appears. Because most of the time he's not aware that he's either of them.
Yeah, like usually someone will find like a picture that like reminds him of the Sentry. Or like when he was introduced, like us in the real world knowing about the Sentry is what brought the Sentry back in the Marvel comics. So the fact that like there's news stories coming out about, hey, there's this character called the Sentry, is really kind of cool. That like, no, now he's in the MCU because people know about him.
Yeah, and also like this is basically the plot of the first Suicide Squad movie, when Amanda Waller's like, what if Superman went to the White House and just started destroying shit? But like the Thunderbolts is basically the Suicide Squad, but they're like, yeah, let's put him up against Superman and see what would happen.
Honestly, yeah. With that team that they have at the minute, I don't know if it's a fair fight.
But he's going to murder them all.
What if they just like killed the entire Thunderbolts?
Because like Florence Pugh dead, David Harbour dead, you've got US agent Wyatt Russell, you got Taskmaster, you got Ghost, and then you got Winter Soldier, so Sebastian Stan is in this as well. He's serving as the leader of the team, which I think is it's a really, really strong cast.
It is, it's really, really good. and then add like Stephen Yeun into that. Presumably Harrison Ford is going to be in there as Thunderbolt Ross. Like, and then Julia Louis-Dreyfus as well as Val is probably going to be quite involved. Baron Zemo should be in the Thunderbolts. He's always been absolutely in the Thunderbolts. Where is Daniel Bruhl? Give me Daniel Bruhl now. Continue.
He's out of line, but he's right. Right. No, I'm just going to say, just a very small thing of, I seen Florence Pugh come out and talk about Dune Part 2, and I just got reminded today that the cast for Dune Part 2 is Florence Pugh, Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, and Austin Butler. The insane. 4 of them are in that movie.
Isn't it? It's batshit. Also, you've got like the Skarsgård, Stellan Skarsgård is also in there.
And Batista.
Yeah. Like, it's insane. There's no reason it should be that good.
Like, it was only when Florence Pugh came out, it was like, oh yeah, Timothée Chalamet and Austin Butler. Oh yeah, they're all really good. And I was like, Florence, you're also really... That's a fucking foursome and a half to lead this movie.
That is it's a powerful cast. Now, it's no...
Yeah.
It's no Suicide Squad 2016, but hey, what can you do?
Sean, I think that's it for this week's Movie Mondays.
What a week of movie news, Conor.
Yeah. Would you like to take us out?
No, I don't think I will.
That's Steve Rogers. No, I don't think I will.
I can do this all day. No, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We will be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero or Zero, and next week for more Movie Mondays. Thank you to all of our wonderful patrons over on Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. And shout outs go to Róisín the Wife Palmer, Joe Burney, Ryan Komatsu, Dozer Enthusiast Evanson. Fun facts with Waffles Aotearoa New Zealand has the highest sheep to person ratio on the planet with roughly 10 sheep per person. David Clarke, Shaun Chuck in the wash and it'll be grand Jamieson, Dominic, Anna Irish Walrus Forever Hjelmroos, Danny McLaughlin, No One's Ever Really Gone Luke Hoth, Lordsmish, Michelle Browne, Michaela Doughty, Buster, Ed Ball, The Adventures of Indiana Jones and the Franchise That Just Won't Die. Lorraine and Conor have swapped the order of their names to purposefully bamboozle Seán. Russ, can you sort me an invite to the Barry Wins an Oscar drink she'll be having? Mine's a Pepsi Max-Parfitt. And Jackson Bruheim. Thank you all for your continued support. You really help the show keep going every single week, and we couldn't do it without all of you wonderful people. So link to that is in the description if you want to join us. There's also heroesforhire.ie/shop. That is our merch store. Twitter is @heroesforhirepod. The 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just a one, for God's sake.
For God's sake. But I think that's about it, Conor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Seán Bean.
I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.